Hello Pisces, welcome to your April 2024 reading. My name is Nigel and you have found Alchemy. Sorry about that. It just seems crooked to me. Okay. So, this is the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, the end of your month. Some warnings, some potential blessings, and then a sneak peek as to what comes next. So let's look at your oracle cards first. It looks as though you might be coming into the month with a weight on you, dragging something behind you, perhaps from the previous month, some old energy. This may have something to do with romance, a relationship. This card is the card of a beautiful woman, but this could very well be a beautiful man too. When I see this card, I generally think of beauty in all forms. It could be a beautiful relationship. We have here the dry desert. You may be feeling sort of alone, sort of like you're not getting the abundance that you want from a certain situation. You may be looking for your harvest. When we pull this card, we generally know that the harvest is coming. But with these cards here, I think that even though the harvest is coming, you may not feel that way, at least when you're entering this month, or at least some portions of this month. In addition to those oracle cards, you have pulled the moon, and this is the witch's, or I keep saying oracle. It is an oracle. This is the witch's ruins, and you have pulled the moon. The moon could be looked at as a state of transitioning from one thing into another. It could be an indication that some things are not particularly clear to us right now, much like the moon in the tarot deck. So we'll keep that in mind as we go along here. At the beginning of the month, I could see that with a couple of these cards. At the beginning of the month, you may be considering some sort of offer that someone makes to you, or perhaps considering offering something to someone else. It looks like a pure offer, like something that is untainted. At the same time, you may very well be considering getting rid of something. It could be one and the same thing. You could be at a crossroads in a relationship where you don't know whether to say goodbye to the past or invite this person back into your life, or perhaps keep them in your life. You may be considering that. You do have here, just like with the moon, there are things you may not feel clear about at the beginning of the month. You're unclear. You are probably tired of not doing anything. You may want to do something. You may want to make a decision, but you're feeling very ambivalent or not clear about it for some reason. Now, at the middle of the month here, you do go introspective. This is Virgo energy, but and that, by the way, is Piscean energy. So for the High Priestess to come up in reverse in your reading, you are not yourself at the moment, or at least at the beginning of the month. You do go introspective here with the Hermit mid-month. You do, and what you want is to start on a new path. Whether that new path includes someone that we're talking about right here, or whether that new path is just you, I think either way, you are looking for something new. You want to go on a new path here. And the Wheel of Fortune in reverse may indicate some unfinished business. It may indicate you turning around, turning that wheel and going back. And I don't see terrible things about going back. I could, I looked at I think it was Taurus's reading. It might have been Taurus's reading who had similar cards. I think that Taurus pulled both these cards, and I was basically saying that there are better things coming as far as this relationship needs to go away. I'm not seeing that here. At the end of the month, let's look. You do have some stability coming in. So with the Knight of Cups, I'm not saying the Knight of Cups is the most stable thing in the world. So maybe this situation goes from being one thing into something long-term, stable. And here we go. You have the World in reverse, and this is unfinished business. You have unfinished business. You are hanging on to something. You are going to choose to hang on to something and get your harvest with another human being that you may have been ambivalent about or unsure about or unclear about at the beginning of the month. Interesting. You do have here in your warnings, there is a warning not to move forward. So I do think that there's also a warning not to, you may not want to. This is the Six of Wands. This is victory, right? This is winning. You may not want to go into this with the idea of winning. You may want to go into this more with the idea of being stable. Of being stable and hanging on to things that are stable. And if this relationship isn't stable, perhaps creating stability within the relationship, so you don't feel like you're in a desert and you don't feel like you're dragging a rock behind you. You know, you do have a warning here to be careful of passion. You know, you don't want this based on passion alone. You want this based on stability and long-term goals that you have together, long-term stability that you can form together. And even though passion's wonderful and it's needed, it's definitely not the thing that's going to keep you together. So let's look at your blessings. What you do have here for blessings is the Queen of Cups, you know, beautiful energy, beautiful water energy, right? Love that's stable and right and true. You have coming out of this Hermit energy. Hermit's right side up. The Hermit's reversed here. You no longer need to go deep inside to get the answers, and you are not alone. You're not alone. This person, I'm not going to say soulmate. I think that word is thrown around. You know, I do think that this is something that you are going to have long-term harvest with. You're going to have long-term results with. You do have here at the bottom of the deck, and this is the sneak preview, is forward movement, right? We have Cancerian energy, but more than that, it's forward movement and it's fast movement. And you have here choices. And I usually don't go into these decks because I could do this all day, but I have to show you. This is followed by the Lovers. Yes, it's Gemini energy, but more than that, it is a union. You're going to make a decision here. And you have the End at the bottom of this deck. It is the end of being defensive, of trying to stick up for yourself. Perhaps there was arguing in this relationship. The end of waiting. The Offer. You have at the bottom of this deck Blood. This person is in your blood. This person is in your blood. This person is part of your DNA. You do have a connection here that can't be denied. A connection that cannot be denied. I usually don't say that. You could watch any of my other readings. I'm not one to say something like that. There is a connection here that cannot be denied. There's a connection that needs to be worked on. Yes, but it can't be denied. We'll split this deck in half because it is extremely cumbersome, and we'll use both halves. Let's see. We have the beginning of the month for Pisces. Pay attention to your finances. You know, when I see a person, I see it's definitely abundance related. You might be fighting with this person about money. I mean, there might be something to that. Whatever it is you're arguing about, it needs to be, obviously the conflict needs to cease. You need to pay attention to something here. Yeah, with the High Priestess in reverse, there is something you're not seeing. So that's the beginning of the month. Show me mid-month. There's something you're not seeing that you need to see. You have mid-month. You have Bat. Take care. Enemies are working against you. I don't know about that. I do think the Bat is a creature that comes out at night. It's a mammalian type energy. It warm-blooded, warm-blooded. Take care. There are things in the dark. There are things in the dark. There are things you don't see. There is something you're not seeing. What is it that you're not seeing? Show me some, expand upon this bat. What is Pisces not seeing? What is Pisces not seeing? What is Pisces not seeing here? Great worry over nothing. Well, you may be obviously looking at this like it is a great worry because you're contemplating not doing it anymore. The whale tells us to go deeper, and so does the hermit. The whale tells us to go deeper. The bats don't see, they use their intuition. You need to use your intuition on this more than what you see. You need to use your intuition. Bats use sonar. You need to use your intuition. You need to turn this high priestess around and use your intuition, Pisces. Show me the end of the month for Pisces. You have tree, affairs with your family. For sure. A tree is stable though, right? A tree is a stable structure that has longevity, that has roots, that has the ability to be extremely long term. There is a tree. There is a tree that's going to produce a harvest for you. This relationship is going to produce a harvest for you. This tree is going to produce a harvest for you. Tree is very important for some reason in this month. There are things you don't see here, Pisces. There are things you don't see. Like the bat, there are things you don't see, like the high priestess in reverse, that will become more clear to you, and you're going to see that this has the potential for your future, to go into your future. I struggle to remember the last time I said that to anybody. I wish you all the luck. Big hugs.
Good night. And always remember, that's...